Chapter 3, Mental Health. This chapter is where we're going to begin to take practical steps. So I'll have you pause the video multiple times and go and do an actionable step. If you want this video to help you improve your life, make sure you do these steps, even if you don't feel like it. Good mental health will make everything line up. Let's imagine a scenario. Let's say you had the most perfect mental health. You were happy almost all day, every day. You were grateful for all of the relationships you had. You felt so proud of all of the achievements that you've gotten. In this perfect mental health scenario, do you think you would have an issue with nofap? Would you be jacking off 3 times a day? Probably not. Would you be scrolling on your phone and just overindulging on instant gratification? Again, it's unlikely. In this perfect mental health scenario, do you think you would struggle to go to the gym? Nah, it would be pretty easy, and I bet you'd actually feel quite excited to go and exercise. Flip the script. What if you have poor mental health? What if you have symptoms of major depression? Would it be easy to go to the gym? Nah, I think it might literally be impossible. You can see that mental health really changes everything in your life. What is life if not for what we process in here? Good mental health will make you feel like a child again, like everything is just enjoyable. Not having negative thoughts and being able to enjoy the random things in life is actually a privilege that not many guys are experiencing. The good thing is that we can improve our mental health with practical techniques, and the even better thing for you is that you are watching a video made by a guy who has been so focused on this goal of improving mental health. For many months now, I have put in some serious intention in learning and trying so many different techniques, and I've even put them onto other people. I'm going to tell you exactly what to do, and I've concluded that there are 4 steps to improving your mental health. Number 1, watch the Science of Wellbeing course by Yale professor Laurie Santos. You can watch it for free on Coursera. Seriously, go to the description right now. It's link 1, enroll for free, maybe even watch the first lecture. This is a life-changing course. If you make this your main focus and go through at least 1 lecture a day, you will be so glad you did. I could teach you so much about mental health, but Laurie Santos does it so much better than I ever could. She goes through so much scientific literature to show you the quantified data to improve your mental health. And you would never believe what the research actually says, because our entire lives we've been focused on getting good grades, good job, more money, a better house. But in terms of well-being, there are other things that are significantly more vital. If there's just one thing you do from my video, make it this. Go and enroll into this class. Again, it's completely free, and just go through this lecture with intent. Go through it with focus. Get obsessed with this course. Get addicted to it. Anytime she tells you to do some kind of practical technique or whatever, just do it all. It will change your mental health. It did for me. I was classified as having major depression, 20 plus points on the self-assessment scales, and it went down by literally 10 times. I scored just 1 or 2 points now. My anxiety was so bad, it was literally like life-changing when I took this course. It's just, you need the knowledge, you need the data, and this course will teach you exactly the steps to improve your mental health. So the next 2 steps to improve your mental health branch off pretty much the 2 most important practices that you learn about in the Science of Wellbeing course, and that is mindfulness and gratitude. These are practices that you can spend literally a few days on that will make everything in here so much better. Your thoughts will just feel nicer to you. Your mind won't be all bumbled up and negative. Mindfulness helps with nofap and all other addictions. Gratitude is the secret to happiness. So how do you increase mindfulness? The most common way is meditating. You've probably heard a lot about meditation already, and you probably aren't consistently meditating. I understand, I was in the same place, and that's because you don't really understand this concept of mindfulness. I explain it in a very different way than anyone you've ever heard before. I made a Skillshare class, and so far people have said that it has been quite helpful. I gave a framework, a logical step-by-step process of improving your mindfulness. And what I'll do is I'll put a free link, so you don't even need to put card details in. It'll be link number 2 to watch this Skillshare class to improve your mindfulness. Mindfulness is a whole grind by itself, but it is extremely important, especially in this digital age. We all suffer from mind wandering. That's where your thoughts and your focus drift away from what you're currently doing. So you find yourself sometimes you have to like reread something that you just read. You're trying to read a book and you can only read like one sentence and you start thinking about shit from high school or this Instagram post. That's mind wandering. It's caused by excessive internet usage. I think specifically social media, because when you're just scrolling on your phone, every 0.2 seconds you're seeing another post, another piece of data, something that just spikes something inside of you. And our brain isn't supposed to process new information that quickly. This is my belief. And so what happens is now our thoughts are quite similar to these Instagram posts where they're just random. Every few seconds you just think about some random bullshit that isn't about the task at hand. And this is killing your productivity. Mindfulness will reduce this and help you get in what's called flow. Flow is like a deepened state of focus. It's what athletes call being in the zone. You want to be experiencing flow every single day for the rest of your life if possible, and mindfulness will help you get that. If you want to improve your mindfulness, go to link 2 right now. Just enroll into the class. You don't have to watch it yet, but you can maybe watch. It's only like 20 minutes, so you can watch some of it if you want. Otherwise, just meditate. Make it a daily habit. Try and do a bit of research onto mindfulness every day, and you'll find that over time, over a few months or so, you'll just get more and more knowledge of this area. How do you improve gratitude? There's a bunch of different methods, but I think gratitude journaling is the best. You literally just get a piece of paper or your phone and just write a couple bullet points of things that you are grateful for. Let's do this right now. This is the actionable step, so make sure you do this right now. I did this kind of video just recently as well, so if you did it then, that's good. Do it again right now. Get a piece of paper, get a notepad, get your phone on the notes. Right, I am grateful for, and just write one thing. I'm grateful for this water bottle. There's mine. You can see how quick this was, and when you really focus on gratitude journaling, you'll find that it will literally always make you smile because you're recalling, you're savoring memories that actually are pleasant. We spend so much of our time thinking about what we don't have. Even in the self-improvement community, all we do is just think about achieving more, getting more. Practicing gratitude is just a bit of time where you sit there and you express appreciation for what you have right now. That's powerful. That is what makes people happy. If you watch the Science of Wellbeing course and you see the research on gratitude, it's mind-blowing. It's like a mental health hack, and it takes a few minutes a day. Finally, the 4th step to improving mental health is to reduce social media, including Reddit. This stuff is not good for us. You can't argue against this point. All of the data, all of the research shows that social media is just toxic for your mental health. Even if you're one of those guys who are like, oh, but I barely use it. I only scroll for like 4 hours a day. That is what's more realistic. Like everyone says they don't use it, but if you actually tracked your time, it would be at least double or triple what you actually think it is. This is a difficult step to quit social media. Like many people have struggled here. I did too. The only way I've been able to reduce my social media usage is through a long-term dopamine detox. Another thing I've made a Skillshare class about. It's pretty much changing up your lifestyle so that you prioritize delayed gratification instead of instant gratification. So you reduce social media, Netflix, video games, and instead add in a bunch of delayed gratification activities like exercise, meditation, and hard work for any kind of business. So this is again another life-changing practice I have made a Skillshare class on. If you want to learn more about it, it'll be link 3, and you can just watch exactly why and how I have done this dopamine detox, which has resulted in me not using social media. And honestly, if you've watched this far, a dopamine detox is probably exactly what you need. You should consider it. Every young guy could benefit from this. So you can see that there's a lot of knowledge here. The Science of Wellbeing course, my video classes on Skillshare. This is what you should be using the internet for. Watch these things and you'll actually feel productive with tactics and practices that will actually give you some kind of improvement in life. Don't just keep mindlessly watching YouTube video after YouTube video. That includes my videos. This is how you know I'm being like real and honest and that I actually want you to improve areas of your life. It would benefit me if you kept on watching all of my videos and you watched all of them in a row and you binge watched my content. But if you're doing that, you're doing it wrong and you're disappointing me. If you These videos are for young men like 18, 20-year-old me to improve their lives. It's not for you to binge watch. It's for you to watch one of my videos, and whatever the topic is, to go and practice that. So if you're planning to binge watch all of the lectures on the Science of Wellbeing course, take a second and just think that is not the right way. You don't binge watch this stuff. You do one lesson, 2 lessons, and then you go and practice what you just learned. You recall, you write, you make notes. Don't binge watch content. It's never worked for you. It never will, because it isn't a method of actually learning. These 4 steps will transform your mental health, and it will probably take you around 25 minutes a day. You could do more. You could meditate more. You could watch more lectures of the Science of Wellbeing course. You could do more points of the gratitude journaling. That's nice, but just do the bare minimum, just show up, and you will make major progress. That's the thing with mental health, is that you don't really have the capacity to do more. When I first started with this stuff, I literally couldn't stay focused on the Science of Wellbeing course for about half of the lecture. Like, I needed to stop, take a break, and smoke up. And that's the tricky thing with mental health. But if you brave through it, if you just go back, just specifically go to the Science of Wellbeing course, because that is what changed it all for me. That's how I found mindfulness and gratitude. I had been meditating previously, but that's how I really saw the research that mindfulness and gratitude are literally the mental health tactics that you should be doing every single day for the rest of your life. It's just a shame that no one has drilled this into us yet, because it would have been really nice to benefit from this for the last few years, but all you can do is start today. If you're a young man and you think you're anything like me, this stuff will change your life, honestly. The Science of Wellbeing course, gratitude, mindfulness, quitting social media. I can't explain how different my mental health, how positive, and how much self-love and how much humor and laughter I have now that I've committed to all these practices, and how different this is just compared to a few months ago. Commit to these practices, and it's like you'll have 2 lives. So therefore, with increased mental health, you'll feel more competent to do things. So that's why we've covered mental health first.